So the HEX card wrapped up, and it was a solid card, man. I enjoyed it. I'm buzzing after the card, to be honest. I literally got like the UFC main event feels from this card. It's crazy. I was so excited for a lot of these fights. One thing that was annoying, a lot, and a lot of cancellations. So it ended up only being... What fights actually ended up happening? So Emirhan Hakamoglu versus Michael Manu, that happened. Nam Stevens versus Webb, that happened. Trey Fumo versus Marco Olovic happened. Max Kelly versus Jack Lyons. Logan versus Gauchi didn't even happen. Olsen versus D Jesus or D Jesus happened. And I think that's it. I can't remember. I can't remember any other fights, man. Like, I hate... This is the one thing I hate about Tapology. It never updates these cards. Let me check the page. Okay, so the first fight was Trey Fumo beating Marco Orlovic. Really good performance. This was a really fun fight. Trey Fumo was in some trouble in that first round. He was getting beat up badly, rocked. It looked like he was about to get knocked out. Like, he really was really close to getting knocked out in this fight, but ended up coming back, having a really good performance. But like I say, you know, he almost got knocked out. Not a good look, especially with Marco being off for so long, but it's still... He ended up rallying, using his grappling to end up winning the fight. Very fun fight. Then after that fight, I believe the next fight was Jack Lyons versus Max Kelly. This was a really fun fight. I really enjoyed watching Jack Lyons fight. He's a really fun fighter to fight. Another Jack. You know, there's not enough Australian Jacks, so we have another one. Like, generally, I feel like fucking like 50% of the regional scene is called Jack. It's like, it's actually fucking batshit crazy. I don't know, maybe Jack is just the most common name in Australia or something, because there is literally so many fucking Jacks that fight in MMA over here. It's crazy, but, you know, very good fighter. I think he's like 4-1 now. Yeah, so he's 4-1. Only lost to Abdallah Bieda, who is a solid fighter, and he went to a split decision there, so that fight could have gone his way. So he's someone to keep your eye out on, I reckon. Like, he looked really good. Ran 51 marathons in 51 days, so his cardio is top notch. And yeah, he just put a fucking beating on him with the hands. You know, I think he was a Golden Gloves champion or an amateur boxing champion of some other type of amateur boxing. But yeah, very good boxing. Has some grappling. He just sort of broke Max Kelly here. Brutal, but really fun fight to watch. And then after that, I believe... Yeah, so it was Harry Webb versus Nam Stevens. This was a really, really solid performance from Harry Webb. He didn't really eat any shots at all in this fight. Like, I'm not even kidding. He really just didn't get hit. He didn't get taken... He got taken down, but like, for literally, like, I shit you not, like 1 second, then quickly bounced back up. Nam Stevens had no success in this fight. Like, he generally just got destroyed. He was getting pieced up in the first round. Got rocked with like a really fast 1-2 from Harry Webb. You know, he didn't go too crazy. He was mixing to the body a lot, using a lot of leg kicks. Like I say, working that body a lot. Just beating the shit out of him pretty much. Looking really fucking solid. And then in the second round, he just uses his grappling. Gets him down. Actually, the second round was when Nam Stevens shot him, actually. Yeah, he shot on him, but Harry Webb jumped right back up. Showed good takedown defense, but did get taken down for 2 seconds. But like I say, it was literally like 1.5 seconds. Gets back up. Uses his grappling to his own advantage. And then, yeah, he just proceeds to maul Nam Stevens. Very well-rounded is Harry Webb. You know, I don't want to draw comparisons too early, but honestly, I've seen some people calling him the Australian GSP. He's got some fucking GSP-type qualities, you know. He's got that grappling. He wrestles. He's got a karate base. He was throwing Superman punches in this fight. He's got a good jab. He's very good with his boxing as well. you know, it's like he's got Conor McGregor's like striking karate style with the boxing as well. Using got good boxing with the karate stance and everything, but then he also wrestles like really fucking well. Good grappling, and yeah, he just destroyed Nam Stevens on the ground, just ground and pounded him with some brutal elbows. Really was just fucking up Nam Stevens, man. Like horrible to see. Nam Stevens is a tough bastard though. Like he took a lot of big shots on the feet, but Nam Stevens needs to go and just crush some cans for a while because Tom Nolan, Quillen Salkeld, and Harry Webb is like a horrible fucking free fighters to get. Like they are fucking killers, and he is literally being fucking booked against them, all three of them within a year. Like that is crazy to me. Like I think someone is generally trying to assassinate Nam Stevens. Like it's not good to look. It's not fucking good for him, man. Somebody's really trying to kill the guy. I feel bad for him, but still, he was tough out there. I hope he gets an easier opponent because, like I say, he's just getting all the fucking tough fucking bastards. But yeah, great performance from Harry Webb, man. But I don't know who you give him next. Whoever takes the fight with him at this point, I think there's going to not be many people who are going to be willing to fight Harry Webb. Like the guy's generally really good. Just like well-rounded, powerful, composed. Like he always looks so composed out there. Nothing seems to bother him. And he's like he fights like a 10 fight like pro veteran, but he's only 3-0 now as a pro. But I think this guy's going really far. Hopefully he gets a good matchup next. Hopefully he can stay active, build up that resume, build up that skill set, and then UFC eventually. But yeah, the guy's fucking really good, man. Yeah, fucking great fucking fighter. That's all I can say there. Then next on the card uh, it was Jesus versus Riley. This was a fun fight, only a 1 round. Aaron Riley, you know, he did Joshua Riley. Sorry, I don't know why I called him Aaron Riley. I meant Joshua Riley. He was looking really good in this fight. He got a knockdown on D Jesus. He was so close to getting a win, but I don't know why he did this. But he made a pretty dumb decision in my opinion. He got on top of De Jesus, tried to play with fight with him on his back, and he ended up getting caught. His arm ended up getting caught, and he's fucking. I think it was in an Americana. It looked like his fucking arm was about to get snapped. Like he tried to escape, but the way he moved, he ended up being stuck in a position where there was just no escape for him. Not a good look at all. Like it was, no, generally, it wasn't a good look. I thought his arm was going to snap. I was starting to cringe because I thought his arm was about to get fucking snapped. But yeah, good win from De Jesus. Makes his debut in the Australia scene. Gets a win over the really tough opponent. I know his record isn't that great, but he's still a good fighter. He's powerful. He almost wins most of these fights, but then fucking gets caught or gets subbed or something. But he's a very powerful guy. Like I say, knocked down Jesus. Was very close to getting a finish, but he should have let him back up. But I get it. In the moment, you see red. But yeah, good win for De Jesus. And then after that, oh my god, this fight. Michael Manu versus Emrahan Hakamaglu. This this was a fucking funny fight. This was really funny to see. So if anyone knows this Emraham dude, he's like a Turkish guy. Like he's literally straight out of Turkey, but he talks like he's from Dagestan. Like he talks, I'm a mountain guy. I'm a mountain guy. I'm gonna smash everybody. I'm gonna smash everybody, brother. Like he talks like literally acts like Hamza. But if Hamza fucking like, I know people say Hamza is like cocky and he's a dickhead and all this stuff. This guy's like Hamza. This is what people act like Hamza is like. This guy, this guy just talks shit. Like Hamza will shake hands and touch gloves with everyone. Like he's still good with everybody. Like, but this fucking guy literally will beef with everybody, attack people at weigh-ins, attack people at press conferences, talk shit to everybody. And, he was talking a lot of smack to Michael Manu, saying, this is easy fight. You'll give me number one easy fight in the division. Like, I shit you not. He was saying all this sort of stuff. using the whole Dagestani Chechen vocabulary, even though he's literally from fucking Turkey. Wouldn't surprise me if this guy was from fucking Istanbul, one of the most westernized cities. I was going to say in the Middle East, but I guess technically Istanbul is in Europe because that part is in Europe. Istanbul is in Europe. But, like, anyway, to get back to what I'm saying, this guy talks a lot of trash about everybody. And, he was really hyping himself up. He stole a fucking HEX belt at the weigh-ins. He was using, holding the belt. Had a fucking HEX belt, and I'm the champ. Everyone's easy fight. I'm going to smash everybody and all this stuff. Yeah, he got absolutely fucking destroyed. Like, generally got fucking wrecked. He lost every round. They gave it a 30-27. I thought it was a 30-25. I thought the round 2 and round 3 should have been 10-8 because he literally had no offense at all. He just got beat up on the feet, beat up on the ground, was in so many close submissions. Like, I really thought they were 10-8 rounds, but for some reason, no 10-8s for these judges, but they just fucking beat those. They got the fucking shit beat out of him, man. Michael Manu beat the shit out of Emery Han. Wasn't close at all. Like, not fucking close at all. He really just beat the brakes off this guy. Emery Han's striking is so fucking bad as well. He was like winging some fucking really wide. He looked like one of them inflatable fucking tube guys, from fucking you see outside car dealerships and stuff like that. He literally was throwing punches like an inflatable fucking thingamajiggy thing. Like, literally, he was literally just waving his fucking arms out, throwing really telegraphed punches, shooting really telegraphed fucking takedowns. He gassed out so early into the fight. He was literally gassed about 2 minutes in. This guy has no cardio at all. He comes out. He didn't even come out as like that aggressive. He just gassed so quickly. It was fucking weird to see, man. Like, really, really bizarre. He he got teed off on, got cut early. He just got beat up. Like, literally, this was a bullying, but the bully was the one getting bullied, is how I could put it. Because, Michael Manu seems like a really nice guy, but Emery Han was just talking shit to him. Acting like he was some evil guy or something. Like, literally, I don't know. I don't understand. I get selling the fight, but, like, I don't know. I feel like this guy is selling the fight, and then there's just being an insufferable douchebag, which is what I feel like Emery Han does. Before his fight, I did pick Emery Han here, but I wasn't super confident on the guy. Sorry, I got distracted there. Forgot what I was saying. I forgot what I was saying now. I think I was just saying about, there's selling a fight and then there's just being an absolute fucking douchebag. Like Emery Han was being. Like, I don't know. I feel like there is selling a fight. I do like it. Like, the guy got me excited for his fight, but, like, it really blew up in his face. I feel like if you're going to talk all that trash, you should at least be a good fighter, but I thought the guy was a bit overrated. Oh, I was saying how I did pick Emery Han, sorry, I remember now. I did pick Emery Han, but I wasn't super confident. I just thought that because Shane Parker took Manu down, I thought Emery Han would. But I don't know. I guess Shane Parker is. I mean, Shane Parker was like an Olympian or national wrestling champ or something. So he's got legit wrestling credentials, and obviously, I mean, the guy's fucking legit because I mean, Ebrian couldn't do nothing to him on the ground. Yeah, solid win for Michael Manu. Like, I can't exaggerate how much of a fucking ass beating this was. If Ebrian fights again, I don't know. I feel like he's going to be fucking Wonderboy Thompson in his next fight. Not going to be talking shit at all. I feel like he's just going to be an absolute nice guy because that would really hurt your confidence and your ego. Like, he got fucking whooped so fucking badly. Like, I can't exaggerate it. He got fucking mauled on the ground. Mountain wrestling isn't enough for that fucking Australian fucking grappling. They say there's no grappling in Australia. Well, Mountain Man just got fucking out grappled by an Aussie. But yeah, great performance from Michael Manu. Yeah, fuck it. There goes the Emery Han hype train that he had. I never understood it. He beat a fucking 3-6 opponent. He got reversed, and they acted like he just fucking mauled Marab. Like, yeah, I don't know. Guys, the guy's not all that, and be interesting to see if he fights again. I feel like he's going to be fucking so broken after that, but I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, then we had Brendan Favola versus Tony the Tradie. Spoke about this in another video. It seemed like Tony the Tradie was really going easy here on Brendan Favola. Like, I feel like he could have subbed Favola so many times, but like he put on a bit of a beating. But I feel like he definitely went a bit easy on him. Maybe just trying to give a show to all the like footy fans and everything who came to watch. But yeah, it was a real dominant performance here from Tony the Tradie. 47 years old, just comes in here, dominates Brendan Favola. Yeah, not much else to say, man. They were like 2-minute rounds. Favola came in swinging, but gets caught, dropped, and like I mentioned, gets mauled. But still fun. I liked it. I enjoyed it. Some people might not have been their thing, but I thought it was fun. It was comedic. Then we had the main event. Well, actually, we actually had Kit Campbell versus fucking Kevin Doucette because they replayed one of the fights that we had already seen. And I have no clue why, but they literally replayed a whole 3-round fight while they were waiting for the main event. I have no fucking clue why they did this. Would have been really frustrating for the people in attendance, I'm sure. Sitting at home, it was annoying for me, so I can only imagine how people in attendance felt about this. But yeah, I didn't like that they did this, but yeah, still, instead of complaining, it was a really good card. Besides that, that was just a nitpick I had. I didn't like that, but still, outside of that, main event, really solid. Uh, Jonathan Mikhailov versus Joseph Luciano. So I thought this was a mismatch for Joseph Luciano. It was a mismatch, but not for Joseph Luciano, for Jonathan Mikhailov. The 24-year-old moved to 5-0 after, I didn't hear the scorecard, but I'm pretty sure it was 50-45. All rounds going to Jonathan Mikhailov. He just dominated Joseph Luciano everywhere. Luciano couldn't get this guy down. Luciano is a legit grappler. He gets everybody down. He has legitimate grappling credentials. He's a legitimate MMA fighter. Like, has a long amateur career. 8-1 as a pro. Only loss was to a UFC fighter. Has wins over UFC fighters who were in the UFC in the amateurs. Darian Weeks. Obviously not the greatest fighter, but still he was in the UFC. Should have beat Johan Linez. And Joseph Luciano beat this guy. But he just couldn't get Jonathan Mikhailov down. He couldn't do anything to this guy. He got outstruck. He got out-grappled. He got out-cardioed. He was the one getting pressed on the whole fight, and he was the one who was more gassed than Jonathan Mikhailov. Like I said, this guy's 24 years old. Like that, this guy's a fucking legit talent. He wasn't. I thought he was good, but I thought this was too soon for him. Well, he completely proved me wrong, and he's definitely a guy to keep your eyes out on. 24 years old, a welterweight, fucking massive. He looked really big out there. He made Luciano not look as big. They're pretty similar size, but Mikhailov more thick. I think about the same height, maybe taller. I can't quite remember, but just beat him everywhere. Like, I thought Luciano was going to make it look easy, but Mikhailov proved me wrong, man. He fucking proved me wrong. He had a great performance there. And, yeah, he completely fucking dominated. Yeah, I don't know what's next for Luciano, but Mikhailov, fucking give that guy the middleweight title shot or something. I don't know. Or give him Matt Valley. I think that's his name, the Viper. Give him that. Let him build up a resume. He's 24 years old. He's fucking young. He could actually do some things, I reckon. Like I say, he's a young guy. He's a good fucking fighter too. Like, to beat Joseph Luciano everywhere is just incredible to see, because Luciano has been consistently solid. Like, I don't know. I was in shock. I'm not gonna lie. I did not expect that. Like the most guys you'll talk to who know about the regional scene, like Luciano was the next guy up. But fucking Jonathan Mikhailov, he had something to say about that. He showed that he had a right to be up in that fight. Like, I thought it was a mismatch. He went in there and said, yeah, it's a mismatch, but not for me. He pulled the Uno reverse here. Genuine fucking prospect. I'm definitely adding him into my list of prospects now. 5-0. He'll be 5-0 now. 8-1 opponent in his fifth fight. I just can't believe how Like, it would be one thing to just maybe, stuff some takedowns and then beat Luciano on the feet or something like that. But he beat Luciano with the grappling. He out-grappled Joseph Luciano. That is, like, incredible to me. His takedown defense is so fucking solid as well. Like, I can't believe it, man. I have high hopes for Jonathan Mikaev after this for sure. 24 years old, had 5-round cardio as well. Yeah, like I say, I've added him to my list, but that's all I've got to say about that event. Pretty much, it was a solid event. Didn't like that so many fights got canned from it. Obviously, it doesn't help the divisions move along when all these fights get canned and everything. They can't do events every 2 weeks or something. There's not going to be a HEX event until like February or March. I think March. There won't be an event for a while. So it sucks for the guys who missed out on their fights and everything, but it was still some real solid performances here. Harry Webb, Jonathan Makayev, even, well, I guess Michael Manu too. Really solid performances. And Jack Lynn's actually, really good performance there too. They were my favourite performances on the card from those guys. Obviously, that's like fucking more than half of the card since so many fights got cancelled. But yeah, solid card. Uh, yeah, man, that's all. There's not really much else you can say. Fucking everybody exceeded expectations. Like, Mikaev is the fucking man. He's someone to keep your eye on. Harry Webb still, in my opinion, someone to keep your eye on. I think he's 23 years old. Solid, solid, solid ass fighter. That's all I got to say. Like, he's going to go really far. 3-0 now. I don't know who they'll give him next. Whoever he can get. Like I say, it's hard to match some of these guys up in the regional scene. Hopefully someone will step up and take that Harry Webb fight. But yeah, solid. Hopefully Harry Webb gets a lightweight title shot next, so there's like an incentive to fight him. You can get a lightweight belt, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, great card. Hopefully the next HEX card doesn't have like fucking 6 cancellations, because $35 for like 5 fights is fucking insane. But I love the Australian regional scene enough. I was willing to fucking do it. But anyway, that's all I've got to say. So thank you for watching. If you made it this far, make sure you give this video a like. Tell me your thoughts on the card if you watched it, and subscribe if you ain't already. Thank you. I'll see you guys in the next video.